Yeah, I really don't have anything else to go with that. What's up, niggas? This'll be What If Deku was Alphamon from Digimon. Oh god, I feel like I'm gonna get so much shade just for doing this. Cause, like, I'm gonna, like, seriously get called a child, but, like, I watched Digimon and I was like... I was like 4. And... I was watching the Digimon Tree movies, because, like, I stopped watching Digimon, like, because it got boring. Like, I made it to, like, the season 1, like, I finished, like, halfway through season 1 of the original Digimon, and I got bored of it, because it seemed, like, really, really repetitive. But, then a friend told me, hey, dude, you know how you were, like, into Digimon when you were younger? And I go, yeah. What about it? And he says, well, they made, like, these movies called, like, Digimon Tree. You should check them out. And so, I watched a couple of the Digimon Tree movies. And then, like, I remember alphamon. And I was just like, they kind of low-key did that nigga dirty. But he's still badass. Like, this nigga was throwing hands. Like, legit. It don't matter. This nigga was throwing hands. Every time he showed up, nigga went straight up. Okay, I'm here. I'ma fold you. Like, legit. It was a daily thing for this nigga. But, so... Deku... will legit be so basically he's Alphamon's reincarnation, but he looks exactly like him. He's made out of metal and everything like that. This is a better picture if you can tell by that picture. Also, one thing to clarify, you see how he has like more meat down at the lower halves of his legs? That goes up there, skinny part goes down there, close to his feet. And, his guards around his arms, they aren't as big. Like, they're just around his, it's just a small protrusion instead of them big donuts. But otherwise, design hasn't changed. He's just muscular. So, like, his, waist and stuff like that, it's, like, muscly and stuff like that. But, yeah. And so, Deku, when he's born, like, as a normal child. And then, like, once he finally gets out, his height turned from 6 inches to 11 foot. Like, legit, it just went automatic. Level 99. Invincible. And he just goes, nigga, what was this? Like, nigga, what year is it? What freaking time zone am I in? Can someone clarify, please? And they say, first of all, you were just born. How do you know about time zones? He says, well, nigga, no, I was not. I am the reincarnation of Alphamon. Now shut up before I end your entire existence. And the doctor, he just shut up, because he don't know what entire mental nonsense that this child is on. Because, like, he immediately thought that his mother was, like, drinking Hennessy, getting freaking ecstasy. She needed ecstasy. Or wait, no, she has Hasashi. Well, what about Kakashi? Anyhow. So, Deku, he walks out and he says, well, lady, I do not require your assistance anymore, so, you can live life as if you never had a child. So, have fun, lady. And she just says, huh? But that means I can get my man back. That nigga's already gone. But, so, Deku, he's just, like, wandering the streets, and, like, he's gathering a bunch of information, I mean. So, list of quirks. Regeneration, power multiplier, super speed, and super intelligence. Like, legit, this man could go head-to-head in Nezu in chess just right now, and he hasn't really done anything. But, and so Deku, he's walking, and, like, he hears about, like, heroes, how they're, like, saviors of the world, and, like, stuff like that, and he says, I think that's what this boy was set out to do. Become a hero. Oh, well, we're gonna completely go left turn that. Let's become a villain. I want to beat the crap out of some people. And so, this is when the fight with All Might happens. I mean, fight with All For One happens for All Might. Because I'm just going to speed up a little. So, Deku, he is just, like, he's sitting perched up on top of a building, and he's looking down, and, like, they see, like, the white cape, like, flittering in the air, and they say, who's that? And Deku, he just drops down, and he says, I am Alphamon. Now, since you're having trouble, how about I beat this old man for you? He says, much obliged. Make sure not to kill him. He says, nigga, I'm killing him. He says, no, do not kill him. I need him because I plan on torturing him. He says, alright, nigga, as long as you let me join whatever boy band you're in. He says, nigga, boy band? And he says, yes, boy band. What do you want me to call it? A League of Villains? And he says, that's a pretty good name. And he says, darn it. What have I done? I've given this fool an idea. And so, he just looks over at All Might and he says, well, I want to become a villain, so, you finna get the crap beaten out of you. Sorry, nigga. And he says, it'll take more than just some boasting to beat me. And he goes, oh, nigga, I know that. But I have the strength to back it up. And so Deku, he just starts going in. He kicks the man. He creates 2 energy orbs. Just launch it at the nigga. Like, you know how Gogeta did with Punisher Drive? He threw the 2, and then he started continuously launching blasts. Yeah, that's what he do. But, Deku, he just look over at the man, and he says, you're quite weak. And he says, huh? Because, like, All Might's, like, bleeding a lot. And he says, you're weak. You're quite fragile, too. And, like, Then he steps on him. He breaks all of All Might's ribs. And he says, how weird. You still do not give up. You persist. And your will shows no sign of breaking, but your body is nearing its limits. Let's see how far I can take those limits. And he like picks him up over his shoulder and just launches up into the sky. And then he says, let's see if you can take this. And he basically had All Might like in German suplex position. Like legit. He had that nigga going straight down, both of their heads like pointing towards the ground. Deku, when they got like a mile away from the ground, and like he had to make sure to like break All Might's arm so he couldn't do anything, moved away, and boom! That's all you hear, and just a mushroom cloud of freaking air and dust and stuff goes up. And he says, you are nothing. And he just walks towards him, carrying a ball like this. And he just points it at his head and he says, goodbye. And then, a bunch of pro heroes, like, they, like, kick him off and he says, you're interrupting. And they say, interrupting our behinds. Like, interrupting my ass. Like, legit. They's mad. Like, they mad that somebody would do that today. Pro hero. And so, Deku, he just says, die. And he clenches his fist. They blow up and, like, go, like, 1,000,000 miles away. And then he steps on All Might, breaking his final bone, which was his collarbone. And he says, every bone in your body has been broken. I objected to the rules that he gave me. Goodbye. I'll let him do what he wants with you. And All For One, he looks at Deku and he says, nigga, you just a powerhouse. And he says, would you think I would be a pussy? And he says, maybe, I don't know. Nigga, when were you born? We could have used you a long time ago. And he says, nigga, I was just born today. And he says, you capping. And he says, nigga, legit, I was just born today. And like Inko, she was watching on the news and she says, crap, that's my kid. Not my kid, cause would he be my kid? She just is pondering to herself. And Deku, he walks away with All Might. I mean, not All Might, All For One. And All For One introduces him to Shigaraki and everybody else. And he says, hey, dimwits. And they say, who are you calling a dimwit? You new here. We'll show you how this chain goes. And All For One says, nigga, I wouldn't mess with him. You just beat the ever-living shit out of All Might. Without breaking a sweat. And he says, without breaking a sweat. And they just say, we praise thy Lord. And he says, nigga, cut it out before I do the same thing that I did to him to you. He says, yes, sir. All For One just immediately calls him second in command. Like, legit. And Deku, time skip 15 years. So, oh yeah, and by the way, the ship will be Fem Shigaraki. So, Deku, he gets out of the shower. Because he does have a form that resembles that of a human. These are the stand profiles. What should it look like? Screw it, he looks like me. So he looks like me while I'm in Super Saiyan Rose. But yeah. So, Deku, he just looks at me and says, or not Deku, but yeah, he looks like me. So, he gets out of the shower, and like, Shigaraki, like, what should she look like? I've never even seen, like, a female Shigaraki, like, legit. She looks like this. Crud, what should her face looks like this? Hold on, wait a minute. What was that? Excuse me? I know I'm not the only person that sees that. I know I'm not the only person. But, anywho. She walks in naked. And Deku, he was, like, drying off. And, like, she sees his 13. And she, like, looks at it in straight astonishment. And he says, "What you looking at?" And she says, that. And, like, she, like, emboldens her eyes and licks her lips, and he says, "No. Try giving me a hand job, and I swear to God, it's only BJ's, deep throat, and other throat." Like, legit. If we were to God, what am I doing with my life? Oh wait, yeah, I'm devoting my life to you guys. I think it was a good choice. But, he says, "So you're trying to catch this D?" And she says, "Yes, but I also hate you." And he says, "So you're a prostitute then?" And she, like, blushes, and she says, "No." And he says, "So do you like me?" And she also says, "No." And then so he says, "So you're a prostitute?" And she says, "No, I am not. And I do not like you." And he says, "Oh, so you're just a tsundere." And she says, "I am not." Like, obviously frustrated and blushing. And he says, "Sure you aren't. Sure. A tsundere wouldn't say that they weren't a tsundere." And she says, "Well, then I am a tsundere." "Oh, so I did guess right." And she says, "How dare you play mind tricks with me?" And he says, "Not how dare I, how dare you for trying to catch this D." And she says, "Me and my preferences are completely normal." And he says, "Whatever. Although I do like you, I won't be letting you have any of this detail later. And she says, like, she just like, I want some of it, but I also don't want to admit I like him. And so today is the USJ. And so alphamon, he tells them, and he says, alright, y'all two go. We just, yeah. Who does one for I'll go to? Let's go with Explosivo Pomeranian. If you couldn't tell, it's Bakugo. Like, legit, it's Bakugo. But, yeah, it's Bakugo. Also, I do have TikTok. Don't hit me up there. I swear to God. I won't allow you to see my human face. I won't. It's not going to happen. Not until you hit 300. Even though we already hit 200. I make it 300. To think, directly after this, I have to make the anime review. But yeah. So, Deku, he's walking to the portal with Shigaraki, and he says, hey, Shiga. And she says, huh? What do you want? And he says, maybe after this, if you do good, I'll slide you some. And she says, huh? Like, she's automatic. I must do good. And she says, alright. She kisses him on the cheek, and she says, crap, what have I done? I showed affection. And he says, so you do like me. Just kidding. I've known from the start. I like you too. Kisses her on the forehead, hugs her, and says, alright, let's go murder some children. And she says, yes. And so she walks out of the portal, all busty like, and she says, alright, we're going to kill you all, and then if All Might shows up, we're killing him. And like, they didn't even need to bring the Nomu. Like, everybody by then had like seen like the footage of like alphamon beating the ever living crap out of All Might. And then like out walks Deku looking like this, but minus the glowing red orb. Says, hello children. And they all go, it's the same nigga that beat the crap out of All Might. Crap, what are we supposed to do? Like, they're all like, shit. Like, they're all pissing their fucking pants. Like, legit. They're pissing their pants. And so, Deku, he goes and he says, well, y'all ain't shit, so I'm just fuck all y'all niggas up right now. And so, Explosive Pomeranian boy comes to save the day. Like, he charges at Deku. He gets one hit in. And then Deku says, for claiming yourself to be the strongest, you're a wimp. And he says, huh? And Deku, he just touches him in the stomach, immediately goes flying all the way out. And then, like, Aizawa runs towards him. He cancels his quirk and he says, nigga, that ain't gonna do anything. Touches the nigga in the back. Shatters his spine. Like, he legit shattered Aizawa's spine. And so, Aizawa's paralyzed right now. He ain't getting fixed for a minute. But, Deku, he then walks up to the plateau. Because, like, legit, it was only Shigaraki, him, and Kurogiri. Like, that's all they needed. This man's a one-man army. Like, legit. A one-man army times, like, 3 billion. Like, legit. Nigga's a powerhouse. And she says, I have to do something to impress him, so that way he slides me some. And Kurogiri is just like, so y'all finally is getting together. And she says, yes, if I do well. And he says, what, during sex? Or now? And she says, now. I know I'll do good then, but I'm talking about now. And Kurogiri says, remember not to give him a hand job. Like, even though he can regenerate from it, don't. Just don't. And Deku, he's straight up one-tapping everybody. And then, like, 13, she tries to suck him into the black hole. And then, like, Shigaraki, she runs up, touches her, all 5 fingers, makes her disappear. And they're all like, he just killed a pro hero. What are we supposed to do? And then they all start trying to gang up on Deku, trying to get him down. And he says, you're all quite wimps. EMP. Devastation. And just boom! They all go off of him, and, like, they're all, like, laying on the ground. And then, this one kid, that's name is Deku. Or no, this one kid's that's named Izuku. Yeah, this other kid is named Izuku. That is Inko's second son. So, Izuku and Deku, 2 different people. Deku, this dude, right here, in the picture. Izuku, he looks like how Deku looks in the main canon. Okay, now that we have that cleared, we're good. So, he runs up to him, and, like, he tries to, like, punch him and hit him and stuff, because he has a super strength quirk. And he's just, like, trying to do something, and he says, you're a wimp. Get it through your skull. And he says, and just for you trying to do that, I'll show you a little bit of power. He winds back his fist, and, like, Izuku, he's still trying, and he just goes, boom! He sends him flying, and, like, All Might had got there, like, right at that second, and, like, he sees the fist connect. Like, the connection, just, like, you know how, like, if you drop something in water, and, like, it ripples? It did that to Izuku's stomach. And then he hits him up into the air with an uppercut. His entire, like, all of his teeth shatter. And then he, like, popped his neck up. So, that nigga's dead. Like, legit, he's actually dead. So, we don't need him anymore. And, like, All Might sees him die. And he, like, gets enraged, because this is the same dude that folded him. And he says, are you proud killing children? And he says, nah, but I'll be proud to kill you. And he says, And he says, yep, nigga, I'm perfectly proud to kill you. And he says, how dare you? And, like, he rushes at him. And, Shigaraki, she touches All Might 5 fingers. He half disintegrates, and then he rips his arm off so that he can stop the disintegration. And she says, good idea. Stupid All Might. And then, like, they fade back into the portal. And, like, Kurogiri, he dropped those two in Deku's room. Because he know what they finna do. God, why am I getting an erection saying this? Can somebody explain? Could somebody please explain in the comments? Please tell me why I'm getting a bone. But yeah, so when they get in there, Deku transforms into his human form. He slide, and he like, cause like she was like twisting her, like messing with her hair and stuff. And he says, "They're quite beautiful, you know that?" And like she didn't see him. And so, like, then, like, he runs at her, and she says, huh, what do you intend to do? And, like, he tackles her into a hug, and they end up in a bed. He says, so, what you trying to do? And, like, she kisses him, and she says, what I plan to do to you from the first day that I met you when I was when I was 5. And he says, alright, be careful. Your insides might break. And she says, huh? From how big it is. And she says, I'm not worried about that. He pulls it out. She sees it. And she says, it's quite bigger when you're this close. And he says, yep, imagine how it's going to feel down there. And so, he shoved her down on it. And, like, she immediately moans. She's like, you're so big. And he says, yup. Both in height and down there. And so, she starts going up and down. And she's, like, tolerating the pain. Because, like, legit. My friend asked me, like, in porn, why girls always moan. And I said, nigga, have you tried shoving a 10-inch round freaking stick into a Cheerio? And he says, I did, the Cheerio broke. And he says, nigga, that how it feel. And she says, and he says, And like his girlfriend was right there, and she says, so that's why it hurt me last night. And he says, you heard nothing, Zayden. Which is the fake name that I will use. It totally isn't my real name. No, legit, it isn't my real name. My name's Robbie. Like, legit. That's my name. Robbie. Robbing you of your girl. Legit, my name is Goku. Like, legit. Don't play with me. You saw what I did to Goku and Vegeta. Don't mess with me, nigga. Don't mess with me. But anywho, so he starts moving around and like, but yeah. But she creamed from that. And he says, already? And she says, yeah, it's too good. And he says, well, I haven't came yet, so he starts slamming her down, and she's just like, I didn't know you could be so violent during sex. And he says, you haven't met me. And she says, well, I know you're violent, but I didn't know that you would be violent in bed. And like she says, it's all like moaning and groaning and stuff. But yeah, like she really can't tolerate it. Like legit. And then he slammed her down one more time. Boom! She is pregnant. Like, she's already pregnant. Like, there's nothing I can say. She already pregnant. But, so, for about a month, they're just doing it and training and stuff like that. And, like, he helps her out with her quirk to where she can touch things and not make them go bye-bye. And she says, thank you, by giving him her body. And you know how it is, they playing Super Smash Bros. All night. Take your girl like I'm All Might. Give me a minute.
We're making pizza.
Okay.
Cheese pizza.
Okay. Sorry, that was my cousin. But, anywho. And, like, they're legit making pizza. Because that's legit what my family does. Because my mom is Italian and white. And, like, German and a whole bunch of other crap. On my white side. And it's weird. Like, I started counting when I got to, like, 5 different things. Because I was just like, fuck it, I'm everything. Like, legit, there's, like, Hispanic is one that I remember. And I'm like, well, man, how are you, like, somehow Hispanic and freaking whiter than bleach? And she says, nigga, I don't know, don't ask me. And he says, and I go, well, I'm supposed to ask you. Like, legit, you my mama. Who else am I supposed to ask? But you know that one surgery that men do to get rid of man boobs? Cause, like, I work out and, like, I'm semi-toned in the stomach area. But then, like, I got these things cause I used to be, like, obese. Like, I weighed 230 pounds. And now I only weigh 180. So I lost, like, 50 pounds in the course of 4 months. And I'm, like, really proud of myself. But, like, I'm semi-toned in the chest area. Because I mainly do push-ups. Because, like, my arms are, like, weak. Were weak. They're strong now. Like, legit. I could break a metal bar in half. But, yeah. So, I'm having that surgery, like, in about a month or 2. Look up the surgery, what comes out of it. Ugh, that stuff is nasty. You just look nasty. But anywho, Deku, he goes and playing Super Smash Bros. All night, finna take your girl like I'm All Might. Bop, 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 busting shots, hey. And so, one night, they're all having, like, a party or whatever, because it's her birthday, and they're playing, like, beer pong. He's whooping her ass. Like, legit, I've played beer pong before, but with Mountain Dew. It's really fun, actually. Like, legit, it's quite fun. It's a beautiful game to play, though, like, I don't know what's about it. I like the game. Like, I like it. Like, there's no other way I can describe it. But, she gets wasted. And, like, he's, like, semi-drunk. And he goes and, like, he collapses. Because, like, he's, like, when he drink, he gets sleepy type of person. But I've drunk before. And when I drink, I'm, like, the chillest person ever. But, like, other times, I'm, like, the meanest nigga out there. Like, legit. It's just... oh. It ain't good to get on my bad side when I'm normal. When I'm drunk, maybe. But when I'm normal... better calm your bitch ass down. Like, legit, that's all I can fucking say. Like, there ain't no way around it. I mean, just ask my cousin. Landed him in the hospital for, like, half a week. Like, it may not seem that bad. But, like, legit, I got so mad. Because, like, we were in the garage. And, like, I was helping my uncle, like, fix this go-kart. And, like, he kept on bugging me. And I asked my uncle for his brass knuckles. One time. Or no, that's from a different... I have an idea. I'm going to save all my stories from school. And I'm going to make a series on here. Y'all finna love this. Like, legit. Actually, I'm gonna pump out the first part right after this. It only finna be like 25-30 minutes long. But yeah, that's why I'm ending this one off. I'm gonna go eat because it's done. But anywho, goodbye. Also, peace out. Also, if you are a guy and you don't have a girlfriend, nigga, I suggest you get one. Start playing Super Smash Bros. Same here, nigga. That was a past recording. That was the actual recording, so hopefully the audio file this time don't get fucking corrupted like last time. So...